Hello there, this is Beth, and well, we're in full swing with Mercury retrograde and spring equinox. The vernal equinox is right around the corner. So what does this mean to us as peoples? What does it mean? Mercury retrograde is a time when things like technology tend to go wrong. There's a lot of miscommunication going down. Mercury is the god of messengers, so going backwards, hello, not necessarily good for the communication. So watch, if you're not getting it or you're misunderstanding something, make sure you got it before you flip out on someone. Just saying. It can be easy time to be like, and you kind of go at someone, chawing at them because you didn't get it and you misunderstood them, and you know, 5 minutes later you're like, oh, so sorry. Oops. So don't do that. Don't go for reaction, go for the response. Take your time if you need to and walk away from it for a little bit. So what are some ways to deal with it? This is how I tend to, these are like my top 2 Mercury retrograde things. Hydration, rest, well actually 3. Rest, and I back off of things. If I'm trying to do something and it just keeps like not working, I walk away from it. I don't keep forcing it. I don't go there anymore. I tried it before. It was extremely not fun. So really make sure you're getting your water and electrolytes too. If you're feeling really kind of off, check those electrolytes, because water too, it's like if those electrolytes get off and you're just adding water on top of that, it kind of tends to dilute them even more. So yeah, pay attention to your electrolytes. If your hydration's like good and you're kind of feeling dragging anyways, try some potassium, calcium, that kind of stuff, magnesium. Up that a little bit through your diet. And get your rest. And I know it's so easy to say. It's so easy to say, get your rest, when you have commitment upon commitment upon commitment. But pay attention to how you're feeling. And if you're really worn out, if something doesn't need to be done, if the house isn't burning down, family members aren't starving to death and living in abject squalor, does it really need to be done that second? Or can you take 5 minutes and sit down, have a glass of water, tasty beverage, and relax for 5? Take the time to make sure you're not misunderstanding the kids or the husband or your significant other or whomever. Make some space there. And I know it can be hard to find, but try and find some in it. And when it comes to things that aren't working out, really, if you back off, even if it's like for an hour, if you're trying to do something and it's not working, back off of it and then come back to it in a little while. I usually find that usually works a lot better than trying to force it on through. These are like the 3 things I use to manage my Mercury retrogrades. And it's been very successful in helping me not feel so like, Calgon, take me away kind of feeling. I also ask every time it starts, before it starts, we hit the shadow, I'm like, ease, ease. Let's bring in ease, 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 ease. Let's make ease in our life instead of making it really hard for me. And that really helped too. I ask for ease. It's like, how can I bring ease in? And that tends to be my guiding word throughout any Mercury retrograde. How can I bring in ease? How can I make this easier? As opposed to harder on myself, because they can be really rough, and some of them still are more rocky if you're doing a lot of changes. You're doing a forgiveness, 24 days of forgiveness in the Heartlight group. Links down below if you want to join in. There's still time to get in on it, because this is a good time to let go of stuff, get clear with yourself, and bring in that clarity, which also brings in ease. So yeah, so Mercury retrograde, hydrate, back off, don't rush it, bring in ease, watch your words, Go for a response, not a reaction. Responses are so much better than when you, reactions are where you just like get that visceral hit and you go, and you kind of just start to, you react to it with completely emotionally without really necessarily knowing what's going on. Whereas a response is like, oh, okay, this is what has happened and I understand it. And this is how I'm feeling. How are you feeling? You can have like a conversation about it as opposed to just freaking out on someone. Everyone's been freaked out on. And everyone's freaked out at least once in their life. I'm sure you have. I know I've done it more than once. But yeah, so you got Mercury retrograde. And then in the middle of Mercury retrograde, because pretty much March is just all Mercury related, we have the vernal equinox, spring equinox, which is the balance of night and day in the spring. And that's bringing in this quest for seeking out some equilibrium within our Mercury retrograde energy. That whatever is going on in your Mercury retrograde, you're going to be like, how can I bring this into balance? How can I get this that's all like this back to here? Bring in equilibrium and restore some balance. And I think that don't rush it, ease off, back off if it's feeling a little too hard, is going to really play along well with that equilibrium balance theme that's coming in with the vernal equinox. So remember that. If you start feeling off kilter, but all of a sudden you're like, I must be on kilter, that's the equinox coming in, going, hey, Betty, hey, let's get you back kind of even keel. And you may have this urge to just wrench yourself into that balance, but try and see how you can bring in ease, not rushing it, kind of like water floating. Ooh, try and float and see what happens there, as opposed to forcing that equilibrium when we get a little bit closer to the equinox. So, if you're having a really bad Mercury retrograde, there's a Mercury retrograde package and or reading. You can buy both of them together, or you can buy a reading or the package. The package is like a short energy reading, audio, a light language transmission, and then a PDF with a ritual and some other stuff to help you make the most of it. And there's also going to be a shadow light reading going up for sale very soon for the equinox. Alrighty. Everyone have a wonderful Mercury retrograde. You can do it. I know you can. And just watch out for that equilibrium wanting to come in. And don't wrench it into place. Let yourself kind of be more like a buoy in the water. Buoying along. Alrighty. Everyone have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I'll see you around. Go out there and be the love in the world. Bye-bye.